Advance Addison 2050 is the town's draft comprehensive plan. It's gone through over a year of input and refinement from the advisory committee, planning and zoning commission, council, staff as a project kind of leadership team, so all department directors, city manager's office, and then the general public. So anybody who loves Addison, we've asked for their input over the past year or more. And so we finally gotten it to a draft point. Basically what it does is it is a policy directive for the town as a whole. So it largely dictates, once it becomes legally adopted, how the built environment will shape into the year 2050. So it speaks to housing and neighborhoods, general land uses. It talks about mobility and connectivity, economic development. And so it's meant to take all the input that we have gathered from the general public about what their vision is for the future, and then condense it into an actionable plan that can be implemented by the town through city council over the next 25 years. When we look at a visioning document like this, it can sometimes be overwhelming to understand how it's going to be used. But largely how it's used is as people are wanting to develop property in town, they have to use the comprehensive plan to ensure that their property is in alignment with the vision that's established. And so two of the biggest ways that it's used are the place types map and the spectrum of change map. Process of engaging the community has been quite long for the comprehensive plan. We kicked off in August of 2023. So that process started with city council appointments. So we placed high emphasis on making sure that we had an advisory committee. It's pretty large, there's 25 people on it, that represented the town from both the resident perspective and the business perspective. And so once they kicked off that process of appointing individuals who were experienced, then we began the process of meeting regularly with those individuals. And so they helped refine every deliverable that is included in the plan. So one thing that we talked about in the most recent advisory committee meeting is that we are looking for consent, not necessarily consensus when it comes to a comprehensive plan. A comprehensive plan is large and it's data-driven, but it is heavily informed by public input. And so when you are asking for that much input, there's not necessarily going to be a solid consensus for every aspect of a 250-page document. And so when we talk about the future, it's important that as people look at the draft plan and they're identifying with what the future of Addison looks like in terms of its built environment and land development, that you understand that that consent has been worked into the plan. We're forming a comprehensive plan. It's important to consider not just the residents. Our resident population is around 17,000, but our daytime population as well. So it's averaging about 125,000. So we have a lot of people who work here, who don't live here, and their quality of life is important too, because in order for the residents to maintain a high level of public service, we have to fund those services through our tax generation. And so a large portion of our taxes come from that commercial base as well. And so it's important that as we're looking to the future, we establish a vision for how we enhance our commercial spaces, attract sales tax and visitors to the town so that it gets reinvested in our public improvements, streets, again, public service, so having enough town staff to respond in an event of an emergency. So we're reaching the tail end of the process. It's been really fulfilling and fun to be a part of it as part of the town and to get to know more of our residents and our business community, visiting all the office towers and talking with the chamber and all of that. And so we're just excited to get this thing kind of wrapped up. And so the next step for that is going to be prepping, public input for consolidation into the next draft. So through June 2nd, we're collecting comments online on the plan. Then we will wrap those up, make edits to the plan, and then prep it for presentation to the Planning and Zoning Commission and then City Council. I sound like a broken record when I say this, but it's legitimately true. Addison is one of the best places you could possibly be working, especially in planning and development in a metroplex where we have projected growth, and so people are excited to be a part of forming that growth and making sure that it is revenue generating in a lot of ways, but also beautiful and enhanced and celebrates people, which is important. And so working in the town, I've had a great opportunity to help establish a vision that can bring us to the next level. Addison has an amazing history of investing in planning to where we have the amenities that we do. And so being a part of the change to enhance that has been, again, very rewarding. And so, yeah, we're just looking forward to the future. Our citizenry here is highly engaged. It's the most engaged place I have worked in or for. We are collecting commentary online. Like you said, it's a large document, and so it's a lot to look at. But you can flip through online through June 2nd at townofaddison.conveo.com, which is an online document review platform that we've used also for the development.